Okay, let's do it here. So we have here a bunch of liberated souls. Number one, Gopa Kishore. We have morning program today in Malibu. This is our beautiful deities. Jai Gauranga Sundar ki Jai, Giriraj Govardhan ki Jai. And we have wonderful devotees, Gopa Kishore Prabhu, the Mexican devotees, Shyam Prabhu. So we had a program yesterday, morning, evening, and we're having a program today. So morning program at Malibu, Madhupuri Dam, beautiful place in California, with a wonderful weather today and wonderful devotees. And so first I'd like to say, I want to thank all of you to be part of this program. It's very great to share Krishna consciousness in a group of devotees who are excited about spiritual life. And only in association of sincere devotees, spiritual things can have meaning, because Krishna said, Naham Tishtami Vaikunte Yoginam Hridayanaham. I'm not in the heart of yogi. I'm not in Vaikuntha. I'm where my devotees are glorifying me. So Krishna consciousness is not something physical. It's something metaphysical, which means it's revealed by a certain divine necessity at a certain moment. And so we were speaking about the other day with one devotee about quantum consciousness, or the consciousness that basically revealed by sound forms. It's an interesting way that the consciousness that we have and the way we communicate is by sound. Like other living beings, like trees, they communicate by, mental waves. Trees communicate. And other living beings communicate by, in India, they communicate by dance. Like, when you look at the Indian dance, they dance and they do different postures and eyes form. So basically, we know you can communicate different ways, but still the sound is most important. That's why the music is very important for us. And there's ambient music, there's music that touch our heart, but there's words. So it says in Vedas, you can kill by word, you can heal by word. So sound is very important. It can kill you, it can heal you. And many times we regret when we say some words to people which we shouldn't say. So we think like, hey, word, what, I'm just talking. But sometimes we can destroy somebody by speaking just some words. Sometimes we can kill somebody by speaking words. Sometimes we can discourage somebody by speaking words. But sometimes we can resurrect someone just by giving simple words. Like, hey, I love you, I believe you, it's all going to be fine. Just like simple mantra, right? It's all going to be fine. And so we, based on that words perception, but also in scriptures, especially in Nada Yoga, it's yoga about sound. It's not so much known in Krishna consciousness as like discipline, because in Krishna consciousness, the idea is much deeper, but I'm starting from Nada Yoga because Nada Yoga describes 4 types of sound. One type of sound, Nada Yoga is also related with music and mantra yoga. So what Nada Yoga is basically an explanation how the sound affect people. And many times Nada Yoga is part of Gandharva Veda. Gandharva Veda is like about music. So, and that's coming from Gandharvas, the celestial beings. And, through music, they charm gods and human beings and nature. So, that's why music is so powerful. It can attract animals or trees or even gods and goddesses or demons. So many times we see like they play music on snake, start dancing. Why? Because there's certain vibrations that overtake in consciousness of snakes. But they're saying that some famous musicians, when they play, they also charm the nature, the tree. So now the yoga explain us that there are external sound. It's called ambient sound. I'm not going to use complicated Sanskrit terminology, but so now the yoga has terms for everything. So ambient sound. So this ambient sound is create mood. Like when we go to party or restaurant or any place where some music, by the music is mood to be created. So it's very important. Like every time when we do some events and festival, I said, put some nice music. Why? Because you need to create mood in your environment, but it's not really what people communicate. It's just set up the mood. So just think of this. The sound can set up the mood. That's why in movies, you have the scene and sound. So the next level of Nada Yoga, where you have a sound that means something for you. Like, normally we say, I'm talking to you. So it's like sound by meaning to be translated. Like I'm speaking to you in a class. So many times people come to school, they listen to class, but they don't listen to anything. Why? Because there's no sound connections. They don't listen to this. It's not for them. So you can say, I was present in the school all day. I haven't heard anything. Why? Because there's no sound relation. And sound relation comes to intention, comes to consciousness. But there's other level of sound. It's called internal sound. Like I have my internal dialogue. Like I'm talking to myself, but it's not like I'm talking to myself just like telepathic way. I'm speaking to myself towards communicating by sound. I can hear internal sound. And so then when we chant mantra, especially Gayatri mantra, they tell us chant internal sound, chant inside. And the highest level is when the sound, internal sound, becomes spiritual. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he described Nama, Rupa Guna Lila. Nama, the name first, spiritual name comes first. And he compared the name to the golden ultimate coin. But he said, yeah, if I'm comparing name by ultimate gold coin, that's the highest stage. But in the beginning, you just have penny. Penny is also money. So Nama means just a sound. It sounds like a money, it sounds like a penny. But many times you have penny in your pockets, small coins in your pockets, because you cannot buy much, almost nothing. So, somebody give you a change in the store, but if you have that little coins that they say, like, what can I buy? Nothing. So that coin appeared to be like a name, like money, like something valuable, because money is something valuable until you reach the amount of power of money. Like you say, hey, I want $1 million, I want $1 gazillion, or I want endless financial supply. Then it works. If I say, hey, you know what? Every day you'll have $1. You say, well, I have to save money. So that's why when you chant holy name, it appears to be you're doing something very powerful, right? But not being super pure holy name, it's like you're having some coins. Basically, you can say, hey, I'm working every day, and what do you get? 25 cents or 10 cents. Okay, very good. Good luck. Good luck, amigo. So yes, in this particular way, you're only having something that is not really the capital. Then you say, well, how do I have a capital? And somebody, well, you have to save money. You have to earn more. So that's not about just quantity and quality. That's why some people, when they chant a little bit holy name, Hare Krishna, they chant there, and they say, I chant. But really, how much is your chant worth it? What's your chant? What's basically the value of your chanting? Then you can understand the value of your chanting is very low. And quality of your chanting is also very low. And the amount of your chanting is also very low. So like every day you're earning few cents. So if you just tell your mom, hey, mom, I'm working every day. So my son, what's you earning? Nothing. What do you mean nothing? Yeah, I earn close to nothing. That's what I do. Every day I come to work. Every day I spend my energy, and the result is little more than nothing. Then next level, Nama, Rupa, when your earnings become more stable, and that's called 25 cents. It's more like a form. Then you understand by chanting Krishna name, Krishna is non-separate from his form. And this is very important when I show the beautiful deities, because we don't worship abstract God. God has beautiful form, Achintya Guna Swarupa, and that form called Krishna. So Krishna has a form, but who cares? Okay, Krishna, I got you. All right, Krishna. So when I chant Krishna, a little picture of Krishna coming to my brain, right? How Krishna look like? Balaram. No, not like Diti. Krishna is dark. Gauranga is golden Krishna, but Krishna, how Krishna will look?
Like various combinations of dark and blue.
Yeah, so now you say, what kind of Krishna? There are many types of Krishna, but finally we could say he's a dark blue cloud, he has a flute, he has a beautiful form. And maybe it's not beautiful. Like when you look at some pictures of Krishna, and say, hey, doesn't look to me like a beautiful. Remember, because Krishna is expressed to human senses. And although when even Krishna was present in this world, when demons look at Krishna, what do they think? They don't think it's like the most beautiful being. They think like, I hate this guy, right? I want to kill Krishna. The demons weren't excited about Krishna. Even when they look Krishna, they think like, how do I kill him? How do we eat him? So normally we say the beauty in the eyes. Why do we say beauty in the eyes? Because it's not about that something is beautiful. Like when you go to a museum and you're barbarian, they show you, oh, this is Mona Lisa, this is Gioconda, this is Leonardo. It's like, man, not for me. And then when you see like Simpson or some, crappy thing, you say, hey, this is the most beautiful thing. And like you start playing with that. Why? Because remember, the beauty is not something that just to be observed. Is beauty by nature something that you want to interact with. So many times when Vishnu take form of beautiful Mahini Murti, everybody wants to interact, on a certain level. And even Shiva, even Brahma, even Narada, even the gods, they were overwhelmed by beauty, so they ran after Mahini Murti. Why it tells? Because beauty is seductive. Beauty is controlling principle. Beauty is principle of power. And Srila Maharaj has explained beauty over power. So why is that beauty over power? Because the beauty that has power over, expression, and normally what the power is, muscular expression by weapons, gold, right? So you can have a gold, but if you don't have weapons, who cares? Anybody can take your gold. So you have to have resistant ability. You have to have weapons. You have to have gold. Having those things, you are basically, showing, hey, look at me. So remember, there was people like Alexander the Great who had tremendous force power at the age of 28. Think of this, he conquered like half of the world. And his idea was like, I'm coming to every country with my power if they don't surrender to me. And they asked Alexander, what do you want to do? And his idea, like, I want to make a better world. I want to make a world a better place. So at some moment, Alexander the Great wants to make a global world or a global fair trade. You know, he wasn't like totally stupid. His idea was like, I conquer the world, I surrender all the things, and I'll take Alexandria and I build a huge library. I put all the books in one place, all the knowledge in one place. So, you know, if somebody say, yeah, this 28 guy is a moron, crazy, you know, he's running around with a sword. It wasn't like that, absolutely. Alexander the Great tried to represent the power with financial power, with intellectual power, and surrendered one ecosystem, which is actually a great idea, because if we see if something combined together, different aspects of reality, that represents like huge power. But he was charmed by the lady, and he offered everything he has to, you know, the beautiful girl, by, because without beauty and love expression, all this is useless. Remember, so Krishna has Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. So he has beautiful qualities. So his form is beautiful. His name is beautiful. His form is beautiful. His qualities are beautiful. And when we say something has quality, something form, something name, spiritual, we also understand it has Lila, pastimes. And by the way, it's interesting that in this pastimes, in this Lila, especially in the material world, not everybody stays on the side of beauty. Some join demons, some hate Krishna. And like devotees thinking 24 hours about Krishna's beauty, form, and some demons thinking 24 hours how to kill Krishna, like Kamsa. I remember when Krishna born, he was promised, when Kamsa, you know, when Kamsa was promised that 8 sons of his sister Devaki and Vasudeva will kill him. So think of this: Kamsa, since Krishna is born, he thought of Krishna 24 hours a day. But Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna. But he's a demon. So when you say like, what are you thinking? Hare Krishna, right? But the basic idea like comes to thinking Hare Krishna. What do you think? Krishna's going to kill me. How to kill Krishna first? I hate Krishna. You know, because everybody hates death. So we all have to die. But for Kamsa, death was Krishna. And Kamsa, he started to think about Krishna. And he understands Krishna has extraordinary power. So he's tried to bring demons and slay Krishna. But he was Krishna conscious 24 hours. So we're too much far away from Kamsa, because Kamsa, although he had negative perception of Krishna, but by having negative thoughts of Krishna, still he got liberated. So when Krishna killed him. So think of this, how beautiful and powerful Krishna, even when you think about Krishna in a negative way, like if I hate you, I still get results that yogis get. So that's why people say, yeah, what's this yoga? If it's just demons, you know, and remember, yoga for many demons were tapasya, fasting, non-breathing, doing crazy things, because in Vedas says everything you can get by tapasya, except love and except immortality. But look, all the demons, Kamsa, Ravana, everybody tried to become immortal. Everybody tried to, control the energy of Krishna, like Mother Sita. So when Ravana was doing his tapasya for hundreds of thousands of years and chopped his heads off until his head left, basically Shiva asked him, hey, my friend, what do you want? And he told me, like, I want everything, but I also want your wife. Shiva said, well, very nice, thank you. Anything else? So I think Ravana had the idea to enjoy Sita, to enjoy Parvati, to enjoy the beauty. Yeah, I want your wife to serve me in the most intimate way. Because the beauty means lila, means relationship. So there's no beauty without relationship. So the idea of Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila, that by knowing the Krishna, it's very little knowledge, but it's very important. It's like money, but few coins. And how do you know Krishna through his name? Remember, we have sound consciousness. Then form comes to you. And then in the beginning, you may say, well, that's not super attractive form. But as you purify yourself, as you purify your senses, because remember, you cannot bring pig to museum and ask pig, oh, pig, what do you think about Picasso? He's like, do you have any shit? Hey, pig, wait, I want to take it to Leonardo. Pig, like, do you have anything hit? Yeah, pig, wait, let me take you to tour to museum. Then I give you some ice cream. And, you know, okay. So you go into museum and pig is like, follow you, smell everything. And then you take him to little, you know, every museum has a little cafe or a cup of coffee. He's like, hey, this is the most beautiful ice cream. And he's like, and they're like, ask me, you have shit? Like, what? Do you have shit? What? You're like, come on, I'm a pig. I like to eat shit. Ice cream was okay, you know, it wasn't bad. It's like dessert. But how about like big plate of shit? And you're like, sorry, pig. In museum, we don't serve shit. All right, yeah. Open museums for pig and call me. And what should I show her? Show a different kind of shit, you know. I'm going to bring my friends. So the kids are laughing. Yeah, cool. Yeah, Avadhut Maharaj is cool. It's talking about shit, big shit. But really, when I'm talking about these things, this is about your perception. Remember, your perception of reality. Your perception is based on your taste and based on your understanding. So if you don't like Krishna, or somebody does not like Krishna, you don't have to think these people like pigs, but you can say they don't have a taste. And that's why people open museums and music halls where people come and listening good music, because without being exposed to something beautiful and understand about beautiful and have a taste of beauty, you can't really be civilized man. So if you ask some primitive person about art and music, they don't really care. Why? Because they have survival necessity. I just want to survive. I just need money. Hey, give me money. I buy everything I need. But you know, some people pay millions of dollars for Picasso or some art. And we're not just estimating this from point of ego. We can say that if something beautiful, it has to have impact on us. And impact on us is the important element. So Krishna is very beautiful. His name is very beautiful. His form is very beautiful. And finally, he's engaging, interactive. And so we can say, what is Krishna consciousness? Yeah, in the beginning, we maybe hear about Krishna. Then as you go deeper, you're hearing about Krishna will attract you to, I like to find devotees. I like to see Krishna in the temple. But then from devotees, which comes in different forms, the books, the lectures, sometimes you start hearing about beautiful quality of Krishna, how beautiful he is. And although you don't have any taste of Krishna, because no one has in the beginning, eventually, Swami Vartate, your taste will be developed. Just like coming to museum, hearing more music. The more beautiful music you hear, the more beautiful music you appreciate. And appreciation, this is important, because your appreciation is indicator of reality. You know, it's not about beauty. It's about you able to appreciate things, appreciate wonderful things. So when we say about, what is Krishna consciousness? And you can say, in a nutshell, the Krishna consciousness is ability to appreciate finest, the most divine, the most beautiful things. And the reason I'm explaining these things for myself, because sometimes I think, hey, I see Krishna every day, I chant Krishna's name every day, but do I really appreciate him? Do I really emerge to his beauty? And sometimes Gurudev would chant some incredible poetry of Bilmaval Thakur. And Bilmaval Thakur, in his book Krishna Karnamrita, was like slokas like Maduram, Maduram, Madurasya Vido, Maduram, Vadanam, Madurari Pate. They're like beautiful, and based on that slokas, so many wonderful songs, spiritual songs. So Maduram, Maduram, like Madhurya, Madhurya, lovely, lovely, lovely Krishna, lovely eyes, lovely face of Krishna, lovely lips of Krishna. It's so loving, so charming, so beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. So when when you fall in love with girl or boy, and maybe your girl a little fat or your boy has little pimples, but that's not the point, because you think of this girl, think, it's not my taste. But look at this boy, think, this boy is a little ugly. But the boy and girl in this moment, when they're in love with each other, they don't think like this. So Govinda Maharaj was told one story when Lakshmi Devi has what's the name of the bird? Savak. Savaka from this. Yeah. The bird Savak.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
How you say owl?
Owl.
So owl with owl. This night bird owl, Savak. In Russian, Sava, in English it's owl. So Lakshmi Devi, she's flying on this bird. So, and it's amazing. It's like a night bird, pretty crazy bird with big eyes. But she's a carrier of Lakshmi. And this must be a story how she become carrier of Lakshmi. We can, in some Puranas, must be the story. But the idea is Lakshmi Devi has beautiful garland and beautiful mala. And anybody has this the garland, Lakshmi garland, must be super, blessed. So she's giving to her bird. And, some people believe this bird, okay, some people don't like this bird. Like in Bengal, they make little figures of this bird for the homes, because they say whatever this present, actually, a lot of them living here. Yeah. So whatever presents, the fortune has come. So it's to be considered, when you see this bird, it means like, oh, Lakshmi, think of Lakshmi. So Lakshmi Devi giving this mala, the garland, to this little bird and say, all right, you fly all over the world and you give this to the most beautiful person. And this celestial bird fly all over the world and look at everybody. And come back to Lakshmi with the garland. And she say, hey, what happened? I send you to deliver this garland to the most beautiful person. And the bird said, yeah, I fly all over the world. I did what you asked me. I kind of see many beautiful people, like I see Balaram Prabhu, a nice guy. Not 100% beautiful for me. I see Daya, it's like little, Avadhut Maharaj is, not a beautiful guy. I saw Sasha, nice guy, like a movie star, but not my. So she's basically saying, anybody I saw, I decided that all these many beautiful persons, I found some deficiency in behavior and character, because when my boss give me this task, I just don't go look at your face. I look at like your inside out. And basically her conclusion was that anybody I saw in this world have some deficiency, have some imperfection. How can I do it? Then Lakshmi said, well, it's important if you distribute this garland. It's really important. So you have to do it again. So the birds fly again and get again the same thing. And finally, she came back to the Mother Lakshmi without the garland. So Mother Lakshmi is very happy. She said, so finally, I know you found somebody. It's very beautiful. And she said, yes. And she said, who is this? And the bird pulled up her mobile phone, her iPhone 16, because she must be the representation of fortune, and show a picture of her little baby in the garland. She said, yeah, I went. Then I went home. I look at my little baby and I think, here's the most beautiful being. Like, what am I doing? Why am I flying all over the world? Why am I trying to share this with others? Here's my beautiful, oh, my little baby. And that little baby all sitting in the garland. Maybe even throwing the garland of Lakshmi. Because like babies, whatever you give them. But one time, one of the rishis, I forgot, it was Durvasa Rishi or somebody, had this Lakshmi garland. And Indra was passing by on elephant. So the Indra was passing by elephant, by this rishi offer this beautiful garland to Indra, because Indra is a very big position, is like in charge, the manager, the king of heaven, like the manager of heaven. So Indra is opposed. But the problem, Airavat, the elephant of Indra, was very overwhelmed by, I'm like carrying my boss and somebody giving the sadhu, giving me a garland. And Indra taking this garland and giving to his elephant. And the elephant thinking like, too many bees around the garden, they disturb me. He threw this on the feet. So this Lakshmi Devi garland had been offered to Indra that give you all kind of wealth and position was disrespected by Indra and his elephant. And that's how Indra became pig. That's how Indra lost his kingdom. So not only you have to respect the gift of God, not only you have to receive the fortune, and respect the fortune. So whatever we've been given by our karma, the money, position, if we disrespect our guru, devotees, then it will be taken away from us. So many times, great gods and great beings receive some fortune and they've lost it. So first of all, we were speaking in the story about beauty. Krishna is very beautiful. But if something is being given to us, like Krishna consciousness, and we are whimsically, without knowledge, disrespecting, means disrespecting devotees. Because it was not about garland. It was about the gift of the great sage. So the great sage, when he saw Indra, he thought, yeah, this garland of Lakshmi, look at this opulent king Indra, I will give it to him. Because as a devotee, as a great sage, he's not trying to keep anything to himself. He's trying to distribute his fortune. And he thought, yeah, he's like really worthy of giving that thing. But Indra thought, it's just a garland. He doesn't understand. So that's why when we connect with Guru, we connect with spiritual things, prasadam, devotees, holy name. If we start disrespecting this, it's like beginning of losing our fortune. Because when we're giving something like holy name, when we're giving initiation, spiritual service, it's like we're giving the everything ultimate fortune. But that ultimate fortune, we're not really realizing yet, because we're like, that elephant that just, look everything from perspective of food or perspective of his own gross senses. So that's why there was another story of Kuvera. I think Durvasa, maybe the same Rishi, came to Kuvera, and Kuvera is a treasure holder. So he's like a hold treasures. And Kuvera is a very great devotee of Lord Shiva. So he's like a very powerful being. And Kuvera had 9 precious stones. So they're a type of pearl. So according to scriptures, there's 9 most precious stones, nag money, mats money, different money. They come from different sources. One type of pearl come from sky. One type of pearl come from elephant. One type of pearl come from fish. So they call different money. And according to scriptures, they're the mystical stones, going to give you power, position, beauty, everything. So he had those 9 stones in collection. Like, think of this, I have the collection. So the sadhu came to him and said, please give it to me. And Kuvera, he was a very great devotee of Shiva. He knows that you gain everything by tapasya, also by gift. See, that's why when you really look at the demons, like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and Bali Maharaj, they had no problem giving gold and charity to remember, the charity is gateway to success. Even when you're a demon, they knew, I have to give something to Brahmanas. Although they hate Brahmanas, maybe, because the Brahmanas, by their mantras, feed demigods. It's like connections between demigods and Brahmanas earn power. But they know, if I want to conquer the world, I have to give charity. That's why the rich people, they do charity. But remember, there are different types of charity. So, but they also, the way they give charity is like, hey, I involve you in sacrifice, or you come to sacrifice, do something for me, and you'll get. And that's why he went to see Vamanadev, and Bali Maharaj Soman definitely said, hey, just help me in my yagya, and I'll get you everything you want. Like, really? You promise me you're going to get everything I want? Yeah, man, look at me. I mean, just work for me, and I can give you land. What do you want? Like, I just need land for my sacrifice of my life. That's why people don't understand. Land is important. When you have your own land, you can do things in your own land better than an apartment. So as a Brahmana, he needs some land for sacrifice. He said, you don't worry. And it's also in the Vedas. It says, how much land one need? It's like to lay down. Really, because when we say, like, how much I need space in this world, just to lay down. Like, a little room where you can lay down. Everything else, not so important, because you can come here, you can come here, you can enjoy. You just need a private, space where you can unplug. And that's another thing. It's like we're demanding more than we need, and that's our problem. But Vamana said, no, I don't need so much land. Just give me 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. This is enough for me to wake up, do puja, to lay down, and that was the deal. So, and in Vedas, Kuvera, he knew everything. He knew the value of those precious gems. He knew the value of sacrifice. He knew the value of it. He's not stupid. But he had 2 ministers. And his ministers called him and said, let's go to pick up let's go to our treasure hole. And the ministers saying to Kuvera, like, come on, man, look at this Baba, like with beard, like you trying to give him the how valuable this treasure is? like one piece of each, like the best. You're gonna give it to this guy. He can't even appreciate this. So look at this sadhu, what he's gonna do with that. So they try to convince him not to give any treasure to Durvasa. But Durvasa is mystic yogi. So when they come out and they try to put bullshit, we need to prepare, we need to come back next time. Like he just tells very clearly, look, I know you're trying to give me the treasure, but two of your ministers are the people who's trying to speak against it. He said, you'll become crocodile, you become elephant. And this minister suddenly started crying because he said, like, now they understood. He said, why? Why? He said, you become crocodile because you're crooked, you smile to my face. And you become like elephant because you are so self-puffed up. You think you're a big shot, but become a big shot in the next life. And Kuvera say like, hey, they're good guys. They're trying. And Kuvera immediately give him the treasure. So Durvasa, by looking at the treasure, said, Om. And by his mystic power, he duplicated the treasure. I just need to clone this stuff. I'm making my own fake copy. So he made a duplicated treasure, showing to Kuvera, hey, I don't need your riches. By my inner power, by my spiritual power, I can replicate anything I want. I can achieve anything I want. That's another misunderstanding about holy man. It's like it says in the scriptures, Valmiki and Vashishta, they can kill Ravana with their mantra. Like the sages, they can kill Ravana, but it says he has to be fighting with man, and Ramachandra takes this form. So it's not that the great sages, they cannot expand their power. Is they know we need to use our power for Krishna consciousness. We don't need to use our power for something else. So after doing this, the minister were crying and said, forgive us, forgive us. He said, okay, don't worry. All right, you become elephant, you become crocodile, but you will born in land of Anartha in a holy place. And you will be born on Revaitaka mountain, which Krishna will be known different than Govardhan. And you will be swimming in a river called Gomati, the most holy river. So when you're gonna go drink water, one day you meet, you fight, and Krishna come and relieve you both. So in this holy place of Anartha, there's Revaita mountain, the Gajaraj born, and elephant born. But in the Bhagavad it says there are also other lives. Like the Gajendra elephant, he was a king. So as you understand, it's not like one life, it's like a cycle of evolution until by your mistakes and your good things, you meet together, you fight, and end of your fight will be that Vishnu will come, Krishna Vishnu, and will save you. So when the king elephant enter the Gomati river, the crocodile attack him and they start fighting. And the elephant thought, I'm going to lose it. At a certain point, he saw the flower of lotus flower coming to the river, swimming to the river. And he thought, oh, so many lotus flowers I've seen in my life, but I never offer one to Krishna. And he think, now my life is end. This is it. I'm dying. But he thought, so I'm dying, but what was my life? I never offered anything to Krishna. My life was useless. And not only useless, also pathetic. If I look at my wife, I had wife, I had children, I had, I eat a lot of bananas, things I like. But like eating, collecting things wasn't really how I use my life. I should be surrendered to Krishna and think of Krishna. So anyway, the reason I'm telling you all these things, because what has no meaning on one stage of consciousness, like Krishna name, Krishna form, Krishna beauty, really, it has the most important meaning. By what? By being able to appreciate things, by being able to appreciate holy name, appreciate Krishna's divine form, appreciate Krishna's pastimes. That's why there are many wonderful songs. And remember, Krishna comes in different forms. So in very modern age of Kali Yuga, which begins only 5,000 years, Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And other yugas, there's like sacrifices, temple worship, like we're talking about temple, but that's from previous ages. Like right now, temples are empty. Why? Because to fill the temple with divine presence, you need devotees. So that's why association with devotees is very important. And when you associate with devotees, you hear about Krishna, you talk about Krishna, you feel yourself with Krishna consciousness, and you continue with your holy name, your spiritual perception. And if you're not, then you're very misfortunate. Because when you meet association of devotees, your most fortunate moment would be to share your insight, to share your Krishna consciousness, and to exchange, loving devotional service, eat prasadam together, chant together, being together, and this is very important. So that's how you grow spiritually. So some people, they not deep thinking, they not understanding what's important of Krishna consciousness, and they have superficial perception. And anyway, I'm not gonna go to the negative aspect, but if somebody has fortune to associate with devotees, the true devotees, and in their association practice something, because taste will come, he's very fortunate. So Nama Rupa Guna Lila. The first was get the name from devotees, then that name comes from Guru. Then we understand name is no different than form, and Krishna has many beautiful forms. Still we have no taste, but gradually the taste is coming. Then form, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. Then we can understand Krishna has loving pastimes and beautiful pastimes. And their pastimes are amazing. All pastimes of Krishna is amazing. Like Mahabharata, wow, super amazing pastimes of Krishna. But out of all pastimes, devotees are specifically value pastimes of Vrindavan. And those pastimes are very simple. There's also killing of demons. There's also some excitement. But the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan has a special charm and beauty. That's why, we have a big Mahabharata, many stories and many historical places still in India, Kurukshetra, Dwarka, which is visited. But still, Krishna in Vrindavan is unique. It's cream de la cream because it's original Krishna. It's the top pastime. And when he extends to Dwarka and Battle of Kurukshetra, he's Vishnu, he's Chaturbhuja. Yeah, he's the same Krishna, but not as a sweet, because in Vrindavan, Krishna just revealed his sweet pastimes, his flute playing, his dancing with the gopi, his loving. It's the most intimate life of God. But the problem is it may not attract us so much. Just remember, like the pig coming to museum and looking for what do you have to eat? Oh, ice cream. Like tasting ice cream, okay. Asking, do you have any shit? Why? Because the pig still has the taste. The reason I'm telling you, I'm not comparing people with pigs. I'm just reporting. I'm just saying that this extreme example showing that whatever the beauty you might have, if you don't have appreciation and taste of that beauty, that may not be something that will bring you spiritual, aesthetic, cultural pleasure. You have to have a taste. So what we're doing right now in our program today, we're trying to discuss these things so that we are we'll try to continue to cultivate spiritual taste. As Guru Maharaj say, Param Drishtvam Nivartate. So anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to take your questions. Forgive my French. I hope I clearly express myself. I learned today about elephants. Any questions, Narayani? Вопросы? Хорошо, хорошо, товарищ, comrade. Please ask. Товарищ comrade, please ask a question.
We have 5 minutes, please. Dear guest.
We can take more. We can take a little bit more than 5 minutes, but at least. Anybody has any questions? There could be provocative questions. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be something very deep. I spoke very simple things because I believe the simple the better at a certain stage.
Иван, Dandavats Gurudev, no, simply devoted Gurudev could be say how to get happiness from service.
How to get happiness from service? Well, depending on what kind of service you do. Like I like to cook. So every time I cook, I get happiness because at the end of the story, I enjoy prasadam. See, to me, happiness is a very simple thing. We cook, we offer to Krishna, and then we happily eat. So even if I'm not happy this morning, when I eat, I am happy. Why? Because, see, the basic idea is like we have general necessity, eat, sleep. Like we're not really, very intellectual, aesthetical beings, right? We love Mexican food, especially soup. So when Mexican devotees come, we don't speak Sanskrit. We don't, have very complicated things. Yeah, sometimes we do. We're going to have a program today. Many people will come. And my understanding about people, they know nothing about nothing, just like I am. But that is not problem. The problem is not that. The problem is how to get excited about Krishna consciousness. And excitement comes from association of devotees, chanting with them together, eating with them, just being with them. And maybe in a time when you're with devotees, it's difficult to appreciate that because it's like, okay, we're eating, so I eat. So Srila Govinda Maharaj, in his divine pastimes, he would bring devotees to eat together. And you would say, like, why is that when people come to business, they eat like, lunch? It's actually sharing food. It's not just simple thing. It's a subconscious connection. And one of your body is set at a level called Annamaya. Anna also in Sanskrit called food. So do you understand? One of you are like covers like your food, you taste the food. That's why it's important what you eat, what kind of food you eat. So sharing food in a romantic way or in a business way, so sharing food is a very important part of our conscious exchange because food is an important part of our life. And when we say about prasadam, it's amazing because it's not just something physical. It's something that is we're cooking with love. Remember, it has to be done with love for Krishna, offer to Krishna and share with devotees. And that's miracle. That's why Srila Prabhupada, he knew people don't know. Like Srila Prabhupada, in the West, people are very proud. And some people say, hey, I've studied philosophy in university. But Srila Prabhupada knew, you really know nothing. But that's why Prabhupada's idea was like, hey, give them prasadam and chanting. Because Prabhupada knew very few people can really understand philosophy on a spiritual level. Remember, philosophy is not just mental information. In Krishna consciousness, when we talk about things, the soul, the consciousness, it has deep meaning. Like even in Nada Yoga, they give you different stage. And by the way, I forgot maybe to tell, the deeper stage of Nada Yoga called para, divine sound. So only para, only divine sound. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj wrote a beautiful article about descending of the holy name. And he's explained Nada Yoga. He explained the physical sounds are not holy name. The holy name is some divine sound that comes from inside out. You would think Krishna, Krishna from outside in. We try to, outside, but really Krishna is appear in your heart and come into your brain because we have quantum consciousness. So when really Krishna comes, it comes first to your heart and then you say Krishna. In the beginning, we want to say Krishna, but nothing comes to our heart. But on the end, in our heart, Krishna comes, and then it comes vibrate by our tongue. Do you understand how it works spiritually? So that's called para, the divine sound. The divine sound occurred in our consciousness, and the divine sound appeared in our tongue. That's why it says the mantra will chant in the tongue when you're ready. It's not like you will say things. It's like your consciousness will say and your tongue will say. I hope you get it right. I hope you translate it clear, because I would explain this in a different way, but maybe later on. All right. So, any more questions? Horosho. Please, you can ask questions in Russian. No problem. We can translate.
One question, Dandavasti Gurudev and all devotees. I feel that I'm standing still in practice, and
You have to understand, we're going to practice all our life. Even when we come to spiritual world, we'll practice. So there's no point probably. I'm practicing eating. As long as you live, you will practice eating. But first of all, you change the food, and second of all, there's different taste. So in Krishna consciousness, it's not like, oh, I already advanced, I don't need to chant. Some people say, I'm so advanced, I don't need to chant. I'm very advanced, I don't need to worship deity. This deity worship is for neophytes. I'm such an advanced guy, I don't need to chant Hare Krishna, I don't need to worship deity. I only eat prasadam nowadays, not even offer, because everything is Brahman. I see Krishna everywhere. But it's not how it works. So the more you're going into a spiritual world, the more chanting, prasadam, and deity worship has different taste and meaning for you. Just like in family life, love and attachment come in time. If there's love and attachment. So these are all things that tells that material things, they get bored. Material things are not stable. Material relationship is end. Spiritual relationship never end. Material world will end. Spiritual world will never end. So whatever the spiritual will be eternal. So if you don't like chanting eternally, maybe this sport is not for you. Maybe you have to go back to reincarnation. Have you heard about something about reincarnation? You're not going to die, you will reincarnate according to your karma. But that's not devotees' ideas. The devotees were singing song Chakradana Dilo Jai Janme Janme Prabhu say. Life after life, I want to become devotee of Krishna. There's only one I want. Only one thing. So people think, if I worship God, will I have money? Yes. If I worship God, my life will be better. Yes. If I worship God, do I get pleasures? Yes. Okay. But devotee is not thinking like this. Who has devotion? You have to understand, devotion to Krishna is very, very rare. That's why Srila Maharaj didn't like call everybody devotees. That we're practitioners. We're practicing. We're trying. It's not mean we are devotees. Think of this. It's not like, hey, I'm a great devotee. Not like that. So the deeper we go into devotion, the more we can appreciate and value that. It's not mean it's cheap. The fact that somebody invite us to prasadam, in fact, by mercy of our fortune, we receive holy name from Guru, does not mean that we become disciple yet. So one time, Srila Govinda Maharaj was asked, how many disciples do you have? And Govinda Maharaj said, wonderfully, he said, I give my beads to many people, but who my disciple will be shown by time. Just like, you go to Jesus and say like, hey man, how many disciples do you have? Jesus like, whole world. 90% of Mexico. Really? Yeah. Like every cartel member carrying the cross. He's gone. Yeah. Everybody want to use me for their own need, right? Every Nazi German on his belt says God with us. So every Nazi thought he's like, I'm doing something important for God. We'll do the concentration camp. It'll be fun. Send people to gas chambers. Think of this. These people thought, I'm doing something very valuable for God. What are you doing? I'm just working in a concentration camp. We reincarnate people, every day. Sending them to, wherever. The good people go to good places, bad people go to bad places, which is doing our job. Anyway, this is all my jokes. Don't take it seriously. I always joke. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
And we have 3 more questions. Dandavat Gurudev, could you please advise what is a friendship in Krishna consciousness and how I can identify my friends in Krishna consciousness? How should I behave if persons insult me but I must to serve them? Ashadanandan from Ukraine.
It's a good question, but like if you sometimes live in a family, maybe your wife insults you, maybe you insult your wife, maybe your children insult you sometimes, maybe your parents insult you, maybe you insult, in the family, there's insult. And question, should you tolerate insult? I think to say very clearly, I think, why are you insulting me by doing this? You can explain this to people, and if they don't change, it's very difficult to keep a relationship. But at the same time, there's willing, unwilling insult, and there's conscious, unconscious insult. There's also, maybe I'm very insulted when I do something wrong. Like, if somebody's coming here, doesn't give respect to detail, it's insulting. Like, for instance, not participate on lecture of your guru is insulting to guru. Somebody who's living here, they may not worship the deity or they may not go to participate. It's insulting. And one of the key is tolerance. But another point is like, if somebody does something and you tolerate it without making action, it's also insult to Krishna. So normally when devotees have problems, they discuss them. If they're qualified, they may not associate. It's another thing. all right, this devotee is not treating me properly, this devotee is, I will not associate with them. That's also possible. It's not the best. Because devotees don't understand, it's not about you. Like, if I'm stop association with another Maharaj or devotee, or he stop associating with me, he doesn't understand. It's not just me and him. It's also other people looking at him. Or why Avadhut Maharaj does not associate with this person, or why that person does not associate. There may be something wrong with Avadhut Maharaj, or maybe something wrong with this person, maybe something wrong with both. So in a good Vaishnava family, if we have a problem, we discuss it and resolve. All right, please don't insult me, please don't do this, please don't do that. If we can do it. If this is continuous, yeah, maybe then you should take a step back or whatever. But important is not to create offenses and criticism, but also is important how to deal with this situation. So I cannot say, you're giving me a very abstract thing. Like, for instance, I was chanting Hare Krishna at 12 o'clock at night loud, and people wake up and told me, like, hey, why are you screaming? I'm not screaming, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. Why 12 o'clock at night? They told me day and night I should chant Hare Krishna. Then, somebody say, well, maybe like that, but maybe you should chant silent. Maybe other people want to sleep. There's a reason why people insulting each other. And you have to understand that their demands are reasonable or unreasonable. So I don't want to go deeper, but as Srila Govinda Maharaj said, use your spiritual intelligence. Because you're asking me a provocative question. If I'm serving somebody and they don't appreciate my service, what should I do? Well, maybe somebody's serving somebody with expectation. If you go to a restaurant and waiters serve you very nice, but then you don't give him the tip he expects. Then he look like, hey man, I served you. Yeah. And you just give me $1. Okay, how much you want? 5. All right, but that's tip. It's come out of my appreciation. It's not coming out. The bill comes, but the tip comes from the heart. But I was so kind to you. So that something like this could be very mundane and could be very unpleasant. So in a way, if you work in a restaurant and somebody didn't give you tip, you say, okay, I try my best. Maybe these guys didn't have money. Maybe they didn't like what I do. But I will continue to serve as I am without expectation. So I hear speaking about restaurants, we're getting a little hungry. So we have a bunch of Mexicans here. I will. And Mexicans, they love Mexican food. They're also Aditi, very hungry. I'm running. And Aditi has the number one Aditi's demand is to sleep. When you stay too late, he doesn't like that. And second thing is, like, if you don't give prasadam to Aditi, he also doesn't like that. So he like everything organized. And that's a good demand because he knows if I stay too late, I cannot wake up in the morning. It's a very reasonable demand. So don't think all the demands that comes from devotees are unreasonable. Some things are reasonable. Try to harmonize. Try to be harmonious. And that being harmonious means go to India and buy harmonica and this instrument and be harmonious. Like, in other words, when you're in trouble, chant the songs, chant Hare Krishna. With harmonica, then you become like an ISKCON member because they all like to have harmony. So we have drum and din 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 din. So we have a little different way of being harmonious, but it's called kirtan. Whatever you do, harmony, harmonica, drum or have no drum, clapping hands like this. Just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Srila Prabhupada said, call me when you have spiritual desire. Because if people have no spiritual desire, there's like, okay, what can you do? Can't help them. Can't help yourself when you have no spiritual desire. All right, thank you so much. I think we had enough today. We went over 1 hour, and I want to thank everybody who was trying to hear my lecture in English, and my sound a little different than in Russian, but it's very good for me to practice English and to speak spiritual things with devotees, and also very good for you to practice English, because if you don't speak English, you're losing 90% of the world. So speaking only Russian or Ukrainian for modern world, it's like only speak like Mexican, Spanish. And there's a huge Spanish speaking world, but like the communication is important. So if you are very proud, I only speak Russian or I only speak Ukrainian, then I can tell you, amigo, word amigo you've heard. It may not do the best for you. The problem with Russian, because Russia is like one very close, kind of like a prison country, Soviet Union. So a lot of people, they wouldn't expect to learn English because they wouldn't use it. It's like, why do I have to learn something that I don't use it? But in the modern world of internet and content and information, I think English is very useful. So for us to speak English is very, very great opportunity, especially to speak about Krishna consciousness in English. It gives us a wide range of opportunities. In fact, many of our devotees and gurus, they speak English. And of course, translating is very amazing to Russian, to Spanish, to Hindi, Bengali, our books is important. So remember, it's not just the language comes with opportunity and service. So I would say now we can translate to artificial intellect many things, but I would say continue self-education every day. Please educate yourself every day. Remember, the life means the progress. Read the books, chant, meditate, do your service, do something every day that make you progress. Maybe little progress, may not be big progress, but do your everyday thing. And just don't think about quantity, also think of quality. So your service has to be quality service. So my Dandavat Pranam, I hope you all, Tarun Prabhu ki jaya. Hopefully Tarun speak with Ananga, everything's fine. So I hope you guys sharing with each other revelation. In this class, I spoke very simple things. Remember, the misfortune of losing fortune when the garland of Lakshmi is giving to you, the beauty in the eyes, how to understand beauty, how to appreciate holy name, how important take prasadam and association of devotees, enjoy together prasadam, kirtan. Then you think, maybe this guy is not so good, but we chant together is very nice. So don't try to go into this material, brainy, foggy things. And I can tell you one thing, like I've seen some devotees that try to do politics, and I hate it. I hate Hare Krishna politics, and I hate Hare Krishna politicians. So to me, it's just tasteless. Like, when people try to involve me in politics and Hare Krishna, and politics is always going on, I don't really like that, because I like to see devotees as the best possible way. Like, I think this girl is very sincere, she's very nice. This guy is very, but when they start involving in politics, this girl, it's just so tasteless. It has no rasa, no taste. So try to stay away from politics if you can. And remember, for me as a conspiracy theorist professional, I always try to look connections everywhere, because everything connected. So if somebody discourage that maybe somebody screwed his brain, as we say, screw his brain, means like change the mindset. Remember, this is very important because with language, you can kill, you can heal, you can destroy people's faith. So, and that's what some people do, they destroy faith. So that's why very dangerous to associate with people who have improper mindset. So important for us to keep proper mindset of positivity and spirituality. That's why Govinda Maharaj told me, don't tell me rumors about devotees, because people still like to take rumors. What about this guy? He has a new girlfriend. Yeah. Like, oh, what about this one? He's doing business. Like, how much more? Like, people like rumors. And Govinda Maharaj said, like, don't give me the rumors. Like, I don't want to go to rumor world. I need some encouraging and positive understanding of devotees. This is very important. So I hope you understand that keeping this mindset, it's totally your duty. If somebody tried to bring you into something which you feel is not Krishna conscious, just try to avoid it. I Dandavat Pranam to all of you. Krishna bless you. Jai Srila Govinda Maharaj Ki Jai. We're here having a program today, as every morning. We're going to have today a bunch of people coming in 2 hours. So it was a good beginning. We had morning Mangalarti. Now we have this class, and then after a couple hours, we have a bunch of guests coming. So today we're going to eat, chant, eat and chant, eat and chant, chant and eat, eat and chant. And that's what we did yesterday.
Thank you so much for inspiration, and Jai Srila Avadhut Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you so much, Suresh Krishna Das, for translation, and 29 people who was with us. Thank you so much.
As we say, your time donation create inspiration. So you're giving your time, you're donating your time, but by giving your time, the inspiration comes. I want to thank you all. I see Marie here. She's doing some handwork. Listen, very carefully, attentively. She's a master. Jivana, Kanu, Yashodanandan, Nadia Priya, Kishore Baba, Prajalata, Ananta Shesh. Ananta Shesh, we had a wonderful time in India. Ananta Shesh is an amazing devotee. He served everybody. We had a really good time. I'm missing you, Ananta Sheshji. Tulasi, and all other devotees hiding by the camera. Nadia Priya, of course, I want to thank Narayana. We had so much fun. Oh, Doyal Gaur, Prabhu. We had so much fun in India and in association of friends and family. As Gurudev said, I'm here to preach to fans and family. I'm not here to change the world. I'm here to change myself and those who wants to change. So my Dandavat Pranam to all of you. Love you all. Krishna bless you. Stay in touch. Adios, amigos. ¿Cómo estás? Dandavats. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. I'm leaving the meeting. Hare